So before the video starts, I just want to say shout out to every single one of you people out there enjoying the content, enjoying the videos. I see you guys reaching out, commenting, and I'm responding to as many people as I can. As of right now, we are standing at a strong 300 subs, and I appreciate every single one of you. And again, I'm doing this to journal my trading and potentially make something out of all of this, so at the end of the day, we're all here to try to just trade and make it out the hood, you feel me? So enjoy the video. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy FX Jared A back at it with another video, and this video is going to be about that aha moment. What is that moment that made me realize, like, this is going to be it? This is going to be the time I realize, if I do this, my life changes forever. So for me personally, it wasn't just one thing. And if one thing I do know about, life in general, or just my life in general, it doesn't take one thing to make you realize, like, this is it, or make you realize, like, I need to go through things to become this person. I'm making all these videos for obviously journaling my progress, journaling everything I do, and I'm glad you guys are actually finding enjoyment in learning from these things. For me, it was 7 things that made me realize that, oh shit, like, why did it take me so long to figure that out? So number 1 on the list, in no specific order, was my second Miami trip.
There's nothing that God hates more than sloth and laziness. If God were to create a man and that man were to sit around and do fuck all, God will frown upon you. It's why you're never lucky. If you're listening to this and you think I'm never lucky, I'll tell you why, because God dislikes you because you're fucking lazy.
This is crazy. Listen, this is an experience, bro.
I went to Miami 2 times. The first time was for my birthday, and the second time was a little bit after my birthday. But the first time, I just went there, seen the vibe, drove a McLaren, had fun down there for a bit. The second time made me realize a lot, because not only I just went for vacation and stuff like that, but I actually went to, like, because why not? It was a last minute type of situation, and it made me realize, like, okay, if I have the power of freedom and a stress-free life, I could do this on a regular, and I could do whatever I want. And that's like the first thing that kind of like came to me when I went to the trip. Me and my brother, we drove Ferraris, we rented a Tesla that was expensive for fucking 5 days, jet skis, ATVs. We had an event pretty much every day. We had something planned pretty much every day. It was an expensive trip for like 5 days in last minute type situation, and I wasn't funded. I wasn't funded, but I did know the power of being funded. I did know the power of Forex. So when I was in the Ferrari driving it in Miami, and it was like scorching hot with the top down, I was in a trade, and I did see some big blues. But what made me really like sink in that trip, and it was the aha moment, is the moment I was actually sitting outside, and it was like 9 in the morning, and I was up $1,500 to $1,200 in a trade. I do believe it was a 50K account with Rocket. I was actually trading during the weekend, during that trip, and I was doing very well, like the first half of the trip, until my mind shifted. I was sitting outside just looking at my phone, and then seeing I was in profit, like 4-figure profit range, and I was at a different location that was absolutely beautiful, staying at one of the most popular hotels there, down the street from where everyone comes to Miami for. and it just sitting there making me realize like, yo, this can be my reality if I just keep working hard and just strive to be the best. So that's number one for me. Number two on this list is something personal, something that actually made me realize, like, for me to be not a beginner, but for me to be this is the start of my funded journey and I'm already up 300K in funding. Looking at everyone else, like where they start in their funded career, I lunged forward. Like I didn't like take steps to get to 300K. No, I started from a 100K account funded, then jumped to a 200K account, and now those are working together to be 300K in funding. And what made me realize why that's the case is because back in March of 2022, I actually sold my beloved car to get to this point. And mind you, y'all don't know, but I had 2 cars at the moment, and that one was just an extra fun car to make me, I can drive on the weekends, do whatever I want. I owned it, I didn't have a loan on it, so I can do whatever I want with it. And I loved it. I had no intentions of selling it, but something in the back of my mind just told me to all of a sudden sell the car. And for some reason, I didn't fight the thought. And because of that, the idea of the only reason why I didn't fight it and didn't like hesitate is because I know I wanted to put that money behind the markets. And I know that isn't the best thing to do, like sacrifice your automotive transportation for the markets, because the markets can provide that. And if you just actually do wait and scale and build up your money in your account, you can actually don't have to do that. But for me, because I sold that car and lunged to the bigger accounts, because before then I actually was trading 50K accounts, $225,000 accounts, trying to get funded on there. But I just was too bored, and I said it multiple times. I love bigger numbers. It keeps me interested. It keeps me interested and not reckless, because bigger numbers for me personally, I'm not going to be super duper reckless with compared to the smaller accounts. The smaller accounts, I will probably, let's just say on a 10K account, 5% on a daily risk of $500. I'm going to be risking 400 because I'm bored. Like, it's a simple fact. It's just, I'm just bored when it comes down to these smaller accounts. And the bigger accounts just keep me interested. It keeps me going every single day. I wake up in excitement because I know I could potentially make 4 figures or even 5 figures on a really good day. That's just my world. So to summarize this one up, because I sold my second car for $10,000 and then invested like pretty much 80% of it in the market, got nothing out of it besides lessons. To never do that again, for one, but for two, I realized I really did like bigger numbers. And because at the time I wanted to stay in the bigger numbers and just be in this atmosphere, I'm desanitized towards being scared of 4 figures drawdown, or being up 4 figures, being up 5,000, being up potentially around 5 figures early on in my career of making money. I'm not scared of it. And because of that, it was because of that sacrifice. Because if I didn't make that sacrifice, I feel like I'd still be in the 3 figures, potentially just jumping into the 4s. But instead, because I made that sacrifice, I jumped to I feel like I skipped 3. I went from making $60, $70, $100 here and there, like on a really good day. And then I stayed in the 3 figures for like about a month instead of like a year or so. I stayed in the 3 figures for like a month, and then I skipped that and went straight to 4 figures. And because of that, I'm telling you, it's because I sold my car. I'm not saying do that at all. I highly advise you not to do that, especially if you don't have an extra one. I just did that because I was interested in bigger numbers. And because of that sacrifice, and because I made 10 grand on selling the car, I wanted to stay in the big numbers and to stay in the big leagues, because I know it would pay off in the future. And honestly, it looks like it did, because it just dawned on me actually like last week that I'm here because of that sacrifice. Next one. So the third thing on this list that made me realize that it was like an aha moment is 30-second decision making. When you first open up the charts to see what you potentially want to do in the market, buy, sell at this area of interest with this confirmation, whatever the case may be, For me, at least the first 30 seconds of looking, not touching the chart, just looking at the chart is pretty much right. And I'm gonna say this right now, is due to the fact that because before the move happens, for me, it's way easier to identify what price wants to do before it happens. Because if it wants to go to this area of interest on a higher time frame, but there are smaller time frames to break before it gets there, but you might be mentally attached to the smaller time frames, that 30-second decision is like, bro, go in a higher time frame, wait for price to hit there, and then do your thing. That's it. It's not wait a few hours later and then do more analysis. It's typically, for me, 30 seconds on looking at the chart before I even do anything, just looking at the chart. The first 10 to 1 minute, so I'm just averaging in 30 seconds, that decision on buy or sell at this area of interest because of this confirmation and this confirmation and this confirmation is typically right 80 to 90% of the time. It's just the simple fact of the execution is completely different compared to the analysis, pretty much a lot. So again, I'm journaling my stuff, and that's something I need to work on, is execution and adding that towards work together. And again, people might be like, why don't you just do it? You have to wait for confirmation, and sometimes confirmation is going to be 20 pips down from your original entry, and that's just what I've been seeing, because price just doesn't come back to your entry after it taps it. No, it's going to make some data potentially shoot or go in the opposite direction, and if you just don't give it that confirmation that extra confirmation that you need, you might get faked out. And again, the market can do whatever it wants, but something that I figured out is the first 30 seconds is typically right, and I just gotta listen to that. That's for me. Number 4 on this list is original analysis. Going off of number 3 on this list, original analysis is just you following your first train of thought. Your first train of thought that has all the meat and potatoes on it, not no fucking bag of chips for dinner. No, I need the actual thing rather than bullshit. Because if I follow bullshit, I'm gonna get a bullshit result. If I follow the original analysis that has all the confirmations, all of everything I'm asking for, that is typically what helps me keep my win rate. Original analysis is one of those things that I honestly discovered like in November-ish, October, is to never chase another setup, especially if it doesn't have higher time frame confirmation. That's it. Number 5 on this list is going to be patience. Patience is something every trader talks about, so I'm not going to talk about this for long. You just have to be patient and let the original analysis play out, and let that 30-second decision that you first see in the market play out, even if it says you have to wait a little longer. And waiting a little longer, yes, sometimes, I mean like 20-30% of the time, price just pushes out of nowhere and it doesn't tap your zone. But that other 70% of the time that I've been seeing and I've been experiencing, it requires me to wait a little longer. And waiting a little longer, even when it might not want to do so, is still the better decision for me to do. And now that I'm fully funded, I can afford to take 1 trade a week and be fine. So I have to accept that and learn that patience is definitely something you need to value. Number 6 on this list is definitely going to be something I don't really hear quite often, because every YouTuber, I'm pretty sure, has the idea that you understand this, but being right is definitely something underrated. Let me explain. So if you're wrong, right, you got to learn from it. But once you start seeing your plan work over and over and over, even if it pushes a little bit higher away from your entry that is near your stop loss, and then tells you you're right a session later or 4 hours later, being right is definitely something that gives you confidence that your plan works. Obviously, you want to be right, but some people are right accidentally. Some people are right with breaking their rules. Some people are right with just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're right and you're seeing that time and time and time again, use that and understand that your plan is actually really good, and just understand that you need to follow that no matter what goes wrong. And that's why being right, well, is something no one really says, but because we all want to be right, but being right with your own strategy works. Trust me. And last but not least, focus. The last one on this list, number 7, focus. Focus is, you know what focus means. It's focusing on a task, only this one thing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Focus on this. For me, focusing on one pair helps me identify where price is at all times. It helps me identify what numbers I'm looking at. But one thing price has showed me time and time again is to focus on me. Not indicators, not this, not that. It's focus on me. Without focusing on the market, you're not doing anything. If you're distracted, if you're going out doing this, trading on your phone, like for me, I know how to trade on my phone. I just don't focus better if I don't treat it like a real business compared to a hobby. If I'm treating it like a hobby, I'm doing it on my phone. Mind you, this is me, not you. You could trade on your phone, be completely fine. Your trading station could be on your phone, your computer, your laptop, your tablet, your TV. It doesn't matter. For me, I have one computer, 2 monitors. I have a laptop and a phone. Typically, when I trade on the phone, it's like me messing around. So I'm not going to be as sharp. I'm not going to be as focused. I'm not going to listen to my plan as much as I would if I'm on the computer. So for me to trade 100%, like with a 100% focus, I need to hop on the computer, do my analysis, wait for my plan, and while I'm waiting, I'm probably doing something else to allow me to sit down and stay away from the markets until my alerts get hit. And that's helping me focus. So those are my 7 things that made me go, if I do this more, maybe I might make some money. If I do this more, maybe I might go somewhere in life. Those 7 things made me realize, like, without them, I wouldn't be not only here, but going over there rather than going back over there. I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. So, guys, enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop a thumbs up. Comment what you think. I want to know what you are thinking right now. Where are you at in your trading journey? How are you doing? Do you need any guidance, help? Listen, I'm just a guy trading as well, just like how are you doing? At the end of the day, we're all trying to make money. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. My Instagram handle is down below. Check it out. Go follow. I'll see you guys in the next video.